implementation engineer for the Ariane 5 flight program. I then integrated the operations and launch arrays division at Ariane Espace, and with a very extensive scope of the three launchers, Ariane 5, Soyuz and Vega, which need to be operated and maintained. I worked on several specialties and am now a deputy assistant at the digital and software section in charge of the control benches and electrical systems, flight controls and launcher measures. After the first successful launch of Vega, ESA entrusted us the operation of this launcher. Ariane Espace's work is now to provide maintenance and operations for the Vega launch system. Applying the same methods across Ariane and Vega is all the more easy that some of the software and electrical systems are identical. We have started optimizing the processes and we can leverage the experience acquired through Ariane 5. My team is constituted of specialty managers in guidance, navigation and control, as well as safeguard pyrotechnics and sequencing. We perform functional operation control and operation control with specialty managers and non-electrical specialists. We provide controls of the software electric system, for instance, through nozzle control. And on Vega, these controls on the nozzles are performed in 4 nozzle control stages. Here we are at the 4th level of Vega, where this box here has been installed to perform all of the verifications of interfaces between the launcher and the upper section. All of these controls are provided from the control center and allows us to verify before integration of the upper section. During a campaign, the electrical assistant manages operations of the electrical and software and pyrotechnic systems and assists the COEL, DDO, in all these operations. Between the COEL and the DDO, there is an exchange of status reports, red lights and green lights, which follow a certain number of rules of inhibition or acknowledgement, either automatic or manual. The operation performed by the electrical assistant with the DDO is therefore to verify that data exchanges are functioning properly. What's very interesting at Ariane Espace is that you can work on a great variety of jobs with teams from all over Europe for Ariane 5 and Vega, and with teams from Russia for the launches of the Soyuz launcher.
Interesting films give you an idea of some of the other jobs going on here at the space base. Over 1,500 people in all. Proba V separation due now in just under 4 minutes. While you were watching that film, we were picked up by our next downrange tracking station in Perth. The Australian station will see the second AVM firing, which is coming up in just about a minute. Also separation of Proba V. There will be a final downrange tracking station, that's at Lucknow in India. The station will see the 5th and final ignition and extinction of AVM. That comes at 2 hours 17 minutes into the mission. We won't be here, but it's to deorbit the vehicle. Now, what are we going to deorbit the vehicle?
Yes, today we are more sensitive to the space debris, and it's not anymore acceptable to leave things that are not used, as it was done in the 60s.
Yeah, it's a big question, space debris.
Yeah, very big. There was a conference about 3 weeks ago. And so we deorbit the AVM in order to leave space clean. Huh? And it happens with the 5th burn that we mentioned before. AVM, it's lowered down and into an orbit low enough to ensure within a few years a re-entry into the atmosphere where the stage will burn.
DDO has just called out, and you can see the beginning of the second AVM burn coming right on time at about 822 kilometers up. Our speed 7.4 kilometers per second. Why do we need the second burn?
So you've seen after the first burn, the launcher was in a ascent on an elliptical orbit to join the altitude of 820 kilometers. You can see it on the
upper left, yeah.
Yes, on the upper left, the path. So now, during the ballistic phase, the initial speed was transformed in altitude, which goes up. Now, with the second burn, the launcher speed is speed up to the velocity meters in second in order to have a circular orbit at 820 kilometers to reach this satellite.
Because we had our top speed, which was 7.2 miles per second. And then we slowed it, now we're speeding up again.
Yeah.
So that's the advantages of the United redeveloped stations.
Definitely.
We're coming to the end of the second Avenue burn. Just in 1 or 2 seconds, you'll hear the DDO call out confirmation of that. There's the nozzle shutting off. And by the time the telemetry comes in here to
Extinction
Jupiter,
du 4e étage.
there it is, extinction of the 4th stage, she says. So now we're coasting again. On the right is Proba V. The black triangle under that is the Vespa, that's the carrying structure.
Yeah.
And under that, the black part is,
Début de la manœuvre d'orientation au
inside of
profil
that
de Proba
are
V.
the other 2 satellites.
Yes. Venerate Saturn, East Cube.
Proba V separation coming up at, I would
Fin de la
say,
manœuvre
about
d'orientation.
10 seconds. 4 years in preparation, readying it for tonight's mission. Separation of our first passenger imminent. As you can see, technicians here in Jupiter have their eyes on their computer screens, ears to their telephones, waiting.
Séparation Proba V.
And there it is, the first good news, separation of Proba V.
Yeah.
And Vega, as you saw very politely, the folks here in, well, I was going to say they were holding applause until the final passenger, but I spoke too soon.
Yes, it's with the people.
Maybe that's the Proba team.
Yes.
The now the Proba is up. What are its first early orbit operations going to be?
Yes. So Proba V, when separated, it switch on and stabilize, stopping its tumbling. It's a kind of a barbecue movement in order to heat on all its sides during the ballistic phase.
Right, they have to heat equally each side, so it's got to turn and turn and turn.
Exactly.
Right.
So then just after 40 minutes after separation, Kourou ground segment will be able to acquire its first signal. Then 70 minutes after separation, the satellite will fly over Svalbard in Sweden. And the first communication... Norway, sorry.
We're going to go to a launch replay again, this time maybe from another site. Shots again, you saw, didn't see much of her trajectory as she lifted up, but you did see the very quick ascent of Vega. She lifted very rapidly off the pad.
And I repeat, the noise.
And the noise, that's going to be with Enrico for, I think, a long time to come. We're going to take a break while Vega is circling the globe. We'll be back in about 45 minutes at plus 1 hour, 49 minutes local time for the end of the mission. You don't want to miss it. You'll see separation of our second and third passengers. In the meantime, you can follow the action on the 3D animation and on the curve on your screen. So enjoy it, everybody. We'll see you back here in 3/4 of an hour.